Age of Enlightenment, Part 30. Hey, Trump administration, sometimes it's just bad. My wife and I have two boys, an heir and a spare, exactly what I asked for when I got married. But unfortunately for us, between our two pregnancies, we did have a pregnancy we lost through a birth defect. And if you've ever had a gut-wrenching sorrow in your life, then you have a small idea of what we went through. And there was nothing good about it. From the birth defect that caused the loss of our pregnancy to, the strain it put on our marriage, the fact that our church that we were going to, there were people in the church, actually leadership in the church, that thought we had selectively aborted our child. And that caused so much drama between my wife and I in that church that after I finished my volunteerism with that church, they have like 8 affiliates in Atlanta, and we have nothing to do with any of them anymore. So we've had to seek out another place of worship because of that. And just the stress of when we did try again for another pregnancy, just every appointment, white knuckled and so stressful. And, God bless us with another son, and he's perfectly healthy. But, every moment of that pregnancy was stressful. Well worth it after getting number 2 son. But if you've ever gone through, any type of fertility issues or concerns, then the stress that it can cause. The first 100 days of the Trump administration has just been bad. And I normally try to give you 3 bullet points. So let's cover 3 areas. Let's start with fiscal policy. I think the tariffs have been an absolute disaster. And I think the more data that comes in, it's not a hard read, right? So, the price of everything's going up, the stock market fluctuations, but it's been mainly down since the inauguration. And it's just been a hot mess as far as fiscal policy is concerned. Let's go to foreign policy. Have we ever been more hated by our allies, especially our immediate ones, Mexico and Canada? Canada just had an election, and I think the person that won the election just said, I hate the U.S. more than the other candidate. I mean, it is a race to the bottom for the U.S. and, the despots around the world. I mean, we're down there with, North Korea and Russia and China. We used to be the beacon. Now we're like underwater. It defies reason what this knucklehead president of ours is doing. And lastly, domestic policy. Every weekend we have a march, and there's stuff on my social media feed that, apparently sometime in May we're going to have another grand march. I wish all these grand march people were voters, because if all these people that are in the streets and online and on my media feed voted, there's no way this knucklehead would be in office. And this evil and corrupt administration wouldn't be doing all the things they're doing. But they are. So, yeah, we can march. Yeah, we can continue to take judicial action and try to get the president and all of his henchmen removed if they continue to do illegal acts. But folks, let's not do this again, because it's just bad across the board. This guy is evil and corrupt, and his henchmen are as well. And every Republican that backed him, that's in Congress, and come on, folks, every citizen that voted for him, you guys got to do some soul searching, because you effed up. Okay, let's not do it again. I don't care if you vote for the Democratic candidate. Vote for a competent one that's not a freaking 34-time convicted felon. Let's do that.